Hello, good morning, children. So far, what we have discussed in the second chapter, chapter what we have discussed in geography is the natural vegetation and wildlife. So what we have so far studied is India is rich in biodiversity because of the peculiarities of relief features, its climatic condition, differences in topography, differences in the type of the soil. So we can say that we are too lucky that we got a chance to live in India. So altogether we can say from the so far completed portions that we can conclude is we Indians are very rich in biodiversity. Lots of plants and animal species we can see in our ecosystem. Ecosystem, you have already studied that it's a large environment where plants, animals and we human beings are interrelated. Yes, so in this chapter we are not going to study about the whole of the living organisms, but we are studying about the area where biomes exist. The area where biomes exist. Biomes means the living things, living organisms, biomes. Biome means the living organisms, both the plants and animal species. So in which area we can see an interrelationship between, or in which area we can see the interaction between the plants and animal species. No doubt we can say that it is what? Forest. You have already studied that as India is rich in biodiversity, the area where we can see lots of plants and animal species living together are forests. So forest can be said as a very best example for biomes. Biomes, the very best example for biomes are forest. So as India is rich in different type of relief features, accordingly we experiences different climatic conditions. Yes, and so we can see that varieties, or we can see that lots of different varieties of plants and animals exist in India. So it's on the basis of this we are saying that India is rich in flora and fauna, or India is rich in biodiversity. So our next topic is what are the different types of biomes that we can see in India. As I told you that in 9th standard geography, we are studying more about India. Yes, so what are the different types of plants and animal species found? What are the different types of biomes? See, biomes basically in India can be divided into different types: tropical, evergreen, forest, tropical, deciduous, forest, tropical, thorn and scrub, forest, montane, forest, and mangrove forest. So these are the different types of forests that we can see in India. According to as we have already discussed, according to the changes in the relief features, we have lots of relief features, children. Once more repeat, we have the Himalayan mountain, we have the plateaus, lots of hills we have, the coastal area we have, desert regions we have, western Ghats, eastern Ghats, and the presence of water on 3 sides. So because of these relief features, all these relief features plays an important role in maintaining the climatic condition of an area. So because of this itself, we can see different varieties of forest. Each and every species can exist. A plant species or an animal species can exist only in a particular climatic condition. When the climate changes, automatically the type of the plants and animal species found in that region varies. Thus, we have this much varieties of forest. First, we can move towards the tropical evergreen forest. See, children, tropical evergreen forest, which is otherwise called as tropical rain forest. Tropical evergreen forest is otherwise called as tropical rain forest. Tropical evergreen, from that word itself it is very clear that forest looks evergreen. Evergreen, it doesn't mean that it will not shed their leaves. It's not having a definite period of time to shed their leaves because of the heavy rainfall receiving. So we can see that These types of forests can be found in those areas where we experiences more than 200 centimeters of rainfall. 200 centimeters of rainfall means heavy rainfall. So in which part of India we experiences heavy rainfall? We know that the coastal area means the land area which are lying very close to the sea. So direct rain bearing wind from that particular area, right? Delta region, every time high moisture content will be there. Yes, likewise we can see take the case of the island region. So in all these areas where moisture content is high at the same time, why moisture content is high? Because of the direct rain bearing wind. So in the tropical evergreen forest can be found in those parts of India which experiences more than 200 centimeters of rainfall. So what happens? Every time the moisture content will be there in the leaves in the forest. So because of this, as you have already studied in lower classes, that high temperature as well as heavy rainfall is needed for the proper growth of a plant species. So we can see in this evergreen forest, it always looks evergreen all through the year. It looks green. Moisture content is there in the soil as well as in the leaves. So what happens? The height of the trees bears very best or the suitable climatic condition for the plant species to grow. The trees to grow. So the plant species or the trees which can be found in these areas, the height of the trees will be almost 60 meters. Very big trees we can see, and it will be a dense forest where we can see wild animals. For example, lemur, monkey, elephant, lion, all these wild animals, tiger, everything we can see in the evergreen forest. Likewise, different varieties of plant species like mahogany, cinchona, rosewood, ebony. All these are the different types of species which can be found in the evergreen forest. Moving towards the tropical deciduous forest. Tropical deciduous forest. Deciduous. So this one also, see basically these types of forest can be divided on the basis of what? Centimeters of rainfall receiving. So in deciduous forest we can see deciduous forest can be found in those areas which experiences rainfall in between 70 and 200 centimeter. 70 and 200 centimeter. These deciduous, the trees in the or the leaves of the deciduous forest shed their leaves in the dry summer season. In the very dry summer season, these species or the trees or the leaves of the plants shed their leaves in the dry summer season. Deciduous forest can be found in those areas experiences 70 and 200 centimeters. Keep it in mind, children, that most part of India, we Indians experiences what? Rainfall in between 70 and 200 centimeters. So no doubt we can underline this statement that this is the type of the forest that we can commonly found in India. Which type of forest is commonly found in India? Deciduous forest. Deciduous forest is the type of the forest which are commonly found in India. Right? This deciduous forest again can be classified into two: tropical moist deciduous and tropical dry deciduous. Moist, little moisture content is there. From that word itself we can explain. Dry deciduous. Dry in the sense means moisture content is not at all there. Which means what? There are certain areas even if it comes under these areas, that is the central part of India especially. So moist means the moisture content will be in between 100 and 200. Likewise in the dry deciduous it will be in between 70 and 100 centimeters. Right? So deciduous forest. Moist deciduous and dry deciduous. Teak is the most commonly found. Apart from this, we have the peepal, sal, all these types of plant species also we can see in the deciduous forest. But teak is the commonly found plant species in deciduous forest. Next, moving towards the third type of forest in India found, thorn and scrub forest. Thorn and scrub forest. Thorns will be there. Thorn and scrub forest, which can be found in those areas, experiences less than 70 centimeters. Less than 70 centimeters means we can say that that area experiences scanty rainfall. These areas experiences scanty rainfall, very less rainfall. So can you say which part of India experiences very less rainfall? Yes, Rajasthan region, especially the northwestern sides of India. It is in the northwestern side of India we can see, or the people experiences, or the area experiences rainfall below 70 centimeters, which means scanty rainfall. Scanty rainfall, too difficult for the plants to grow, isn't it? So we cannot see what dense forest there. We can see scattered plants, scattered trees, as they are not receiving enough rainfall. So the trees will be scattered and they won't be getting enough water to grow, isn't it? So what will happen? What is the peculiarity of the roots found there, the tree? What is the peculiarity of the roots of the trees found there? They will be penetrated into the soil. Why? For what? To absorb the moisture content which is located in the very depth of the earth. Understood? It will be having the trees, the roots, these trees are having long roots. These trees will be having long roots which will be penetrated under the soil to absorb the moisture content. Understood? It will be having, what is the peculiarity of its stem? They are having succulent stem. They are having succulent stem. Succulent means water moisture content will be there to hold the moisture content. Understood? Likewise, we can see the leaves of the leaves will be what? Thick. The leaves will be very thick. So as it's not having a dense, or we can say that it's not having what? Dense. It's not a dense forest. So it's that type of fox, wolf, all these things can be found in the desert region, that is in the thorn and scrub forest. Acacias, palm tree, euphorbias, cactus. All these are the plant species found. Montane forest. Montane means, from that word itself it is very clear, which can be found in the mountain regions. Which can be found in the mountain region. So montane forest means the forest which can be found in the mountain region. You know that what is the peculiarity of a mountain? See, mountains always are asymmetrical in nature, right? This is the sea level. This is the sea level. So what will happen is, in montane forest itself we can see different varieties of forest. Depending upon the distance away from the sea level, see the higher, when we move towards the higher altitude. Higher altitude means when we move towards the heights. What will happen? We are moving away from the sea level, so the moisture content goes on, decreases. So precipitation will be taking place in the form of snow. At the top of the mountain, at the top of the Alps, precipitation will be taking place in the form of snow. So accordingly, the type of the species found also will be different. The area which is located, the land area, that is that part of the mountain which is located very close to the sea level, there we can see what? Wet temperate forest. Wet here, up to 2000 meters we can see wet temperate. Wet means moisture content will be there. Yes. Above that we can see, in the middle part we can see again the moisture content will decrease. So we can see the coniferous forest. We can see coniferous forest. Coniferous forest. Coniferous forest. At the same time when we move towards the higher altitudes, again we can see it will give way to alpine vegetation. It will give way to alpine vegetation. Shrubs, bushes, all these things we can see there because precipitation is in the form of snow. They are not in the form of a heavy rainfall. Right? Next comes, accordingly, in these types of forest, that is in montane forest itself, keep it in mind children, different varieties of forest itself can be found, and depending upon the type of the forest, the type of the wild animals also will be varying. Then moving towards the mangrove forest. Mangrove, which can be found in the delta regions. You might have heard of the famous worlds, that is Sundarban Delta, the largest delta in the world. Yes. So mangrove forests, which can be found mainly in the delta regions. Mangrove, where two or more rivers joins together, because we know that all these rivers will deposit sediment, or they will be depositing their, all these rivers will be depositing their sediments in the mouth area, mouth of the river, what we call delta. Delta actually means the area where two or three rivers merges together. Actually, in the mouth of the river, all the rivers will be depositing all their sediments, because you know that the rivers will be carrying all the sediments along with them. And they will be depositing all these sediments at the mouth of the river. So that part of the mouth of the river where two or three rivers merges together are called as delta. So there it will be a wet, marshy area, thickly covered by thick, or it will be covered by thick vegetation. It will give way to what? Mangrove forest. All the trees and the roots of the trees will be penetrated, or will be submerged under the water. Bengal royal tiger is famous for, you know that Sundarban Delta is mainly, let me say the example of a mangrove there. That is why I took the example of Sundarban Delta, because you all will be very familiar with the Sundarban Delta. Apart from this, we have the deltas in the northeastern coastal areas. We can in the eastern coastal areas, especially in the Coromandel coast and the northern circus, we can see lots of deltas. But you will be more familiar with Sundarban Delta, and you know that Sundarban Delta, which is famous for Royal Bengal tiger, and also how the Sundarban Delta got its name with Sundari trees. Lots of Sundari trees can be found there. So these are the commonly found forests in India. So according to the changes in the relief features, or according to the differences in the climatic condition, we can see different types of forest in India: tropical evergreen forest, deciduous forest, thorn and scrub forest, montane forest, and mangrove forest. Hope it is very clear for you. Please go through it, and all these will be a very important questions. You can expect a 5-mark question from each. You need to write it in point wise. Okay, thank you.